Welcome, in front of me is a Samsung Galaxy A70, and today I'll share with you a couple tweaks and tricks that I can do on this device. So we're going to begin with the quick opening notification panel, and I already have it enabled. So what it will allow you to do is normally you can access the app drawer by pulling up and down, but if I pull down now when it's enabled, I'll get the notification panel, so I don't have to reach all the way to the top of the phone, considering it's not very easy to reach there and the phone is fairly tall, and I also don't have LeBron James hands to get all the way there without doing some finger gymnastics. So you could theoretically pull it from basically anywhere like here and still gain easy access to all the toggles and notifications. And to enable this, you would go into the settings and then display, and from here I believe it's home screen. And yep, quick access or quick open notification panel right here. So all you need to do is enable this, and then you will be able to pull the notification panel like I am. So basically from anywhere on the screen, if you pull down, it will open. Now moving on, we're gonna go into screen mode. And what will allow you to do is just add a little bit more saturation color to overall the display and every other app on it. And it's more of a preference if you like more color or not, but to do it you go into the settings and then display, and then you should go into home screen, and where is it? Oh wait, there it is. That is actually in just the display. So you have the screen mode, and I already have it set to vivid, but by default it's set to natural. And here you have a couple of pages of different images that you can scroll through and see the difference it will have when you switch it to vivid. So it might not be to everybody's liking. For instance, this one seems a little bit unnatural with how much color it has, at least in the orange and grapefruit side of the colors. It just seems a little bit too poppy, I guess. So yeah, and you also have, in addition here, when you have to vivid selected, you can switch the color of it, or well, the warmth of it. So you have, if you go to cool, it will make it a little bit more bluish, and if you go to warm, it will make overall the image a little bit more yellowish. So again, it's a matter of preference if you like it that way or not. I'm gonna go back to natural and continue on. So the next thing I will show is the gesture navigations, and it might not be the best one, but it's the only one you get on the Samsung ones. And to enable them, you would go into the settings and then to display again, and then navigation bar. And you have a couple options here. So you can switch between the ones that we have right now or the gestures, which just creates 3 bars. And you can also on the bottom flip over the recent and back button. So as you can see now, back is on the right side and recent on the left. And then you can flip them over to be the other way around. And that will also apply to the gestures. So if you want to swipe back, you would now have to swipe from the left side. Let's just go back to this one. And if you tap on it, you can see that it just creates these bars that you pull up like so, or like this to either open Google if you hold it, or just swipe it up quickly to go to your home. And here is swipe back, but let me just open something so you can actually get a better view of this. So swipe back, and it might not be the best one, but it's still better than nothing if you like to get rid of the buttons so you don't see them. It also moves the apps a little bit lower, so makes the display a little bit more cleaner in my opinion. But like I said, it's more of a matter of preference if you like it or not. Now for this, I'm just gonna go back to the actual buttons, considering it's not as easy to slide up when it's on the stand. So this is just gonna be easier for me. And moving on, we're gonna go into the app shortcuts, which are located on the home screen. Not on the home screen, but on that lock screen. And I already have changed them. So you should see a YouTube app. So when you tap on the button and you're on the lock screen, you'll have the 2 buttons. Now, normally by default you have a phone and a camera, but I switched the phone for YouTube, so I can now launch YouTube quickly from the lock screen. And to change those apps, all you need to do is just go into the settings again, and then we're gonna go into the lock screen, so below here, and let's see, app shortcuts, and you have the two app shortcuts, so left and right, and you can tap on each one of them. So let's go back to the left one, and you can choose whichever app you like. Now keep in mind, there is not very many apps I have a choice from, but if you already installed a bunch of apps on your device, they should all be showing up here as well, so you can choose from any installed apps. Now I only have the ones that come pre-installed with the device and nothing else, that's why there's only so many of them here, but you can just change them to anything else. So I could open up gallery. Now if I like the device, I should have the gallery app right here, and by swiping it will just open it up. So it works fairly well and adds a little bit of a easier access to launch some of maybe your favorite apps that you have that you want to open up often. Now moving on, we're gonna go into a one that might not suit everybody, but it's a game launcher. And there's a couple things that it does. So number one, it allows you to hide any game that is on the device. So normally if you pull up the app tray, you'll have all the games that are installed on the device right here, and as long as you don't hide them, but then you can't really launch them. It also allows you to boost the performance of the game and also mute any kind of notifications so you don't get interrupted while playing. And once you launch it up, if you're opening it up for the first time, you'll have a screen, number one with update probably, and number two with the option to hide the games or just keep it as it is. And if you disregarded that and want to hide the games now, all you really need to do is go into the settings right here, and you will have hide games on home and apps, and if you check that on, it will hide all the games and they will be visible right here. And in addition, you have the two options right here, so basically mute the notifications so you're not interrupted while playing. And number two, you have the slider, which you want more, if you want to focus on performance, balance, or focus on power saving. Now, the more you go to performance, the faster the battery will drain, and it will probably also slow down the notifications that are arriving, because it will limit the background apps or completely disable them just to prioritize whatever you're doing right now. So keep that in mind. But overall, it's a nice app that allows you to just boost the game a little bit more. Then moving on, we're gonna go into the double tap to wake, which is just a simple feature. Allows you to just, when the device is locked like it is right now, double tap on it. It just goes to the lock screen where you get the visual of the time and any kind of notifications that might be open, and you can normally unlock it like you would by pressing the button. But just if the phone is laying and you're, for instance, at work, it's a nice way of just checking the time just by double tapping the phone. Now moving on, we're going to go into a couple of different options which I like to use, and I'm gonna make sure that I actually have clear all of this and open up YouTube, for instance, because it's going to be a really good example of how this works. So once you have YouTube open and you have the recent view, you can tap on the icon itself and you have the open and split screen. So it will move it up here and minimize it in a way. And then if you have any other recent apps open, it will show you them right basically in the panel, like you would press the button right here. And you can also press the home screen and just be located as I am right now. And from here you can open up any kind of other app. So I could open up, for instance, Chrome like this and use Chrome while, for instance, listening to music right here. So I can resize it to be a little bit smaller. So you'll see that this is playing right now, 6, 7. There will be any kind of like, okay, there we go, something moving. So you can see it's working while I'm doing something else and isn't pausing the video or music, whatever you'd be listening to, just because you're not in the app. Fairly nice way of listening to music if you don't want to have this open all the time and don't feel like paying the subscription to YouTube for no reason. And the other one would be the actual pop-up view, which also you access kind of like you would access the split screen, but when you tap on pop-up view, it opens up a window which you can move around like so. You can also resize it to make it way smaller like this. And again, you can tap on play, move it completely out of the way. And again, you can go back to doing other things. And as you can see on the corner, the video is still playing while I'm doing other stuff. This will be primarily handy in my opinion when you're trying to listen to music but don't really care about the actual music video and you like to do other stuff. Now keep in mind, if it goes minimized, like I just pressed the home button and it minimized, or you tap on the minimize button that is located right here, the two arrows that are pointing inwards, tap on that, it minimizes, the video will stop playing. As you can see now that it's not playing anymore. So keep that in mind. Now if you want to dispose of it, all you need to do is just tap on the X and it closes. So those are two handy features. And moving on, we're gonna go into the animation speed, and it will allow you just to increase the animation of the device. So whenever you tap on something like this, it has all the animations like zooming in, out, fading, and stuff like that. Now, the phone itself comes with some kind of animation to allow you to reduce animations, I think it's called. But this is basically worth nothing and gives you basically no definitive difference that at least I can visually see. So you can take it up a notch and go again to the settings and about phone and find build number. I think it's gonna be in the status, I guess. Let's see, maybe not here. So software information, I would assume. Pre-patch, oh there it is, build number. So tap on this 7 times. You'll start seeing this. So after 7th time, you will see that you are now a developer. Now keep in mind that if you have some kind of passcode or fingerprint, you will need to confirm that before the developer options become enabled. And once you do, they'll enable. And now if you go back to previous page, you will see that now the last thing is developer options. And if you tap on it, go somewhere a little bit past halfway, then we should find animation duration scale, animation duration or window animation scale, transition animation scale, and animation duration scale. Now each one of them corresponds to different animations. So the first one, which is the window animation scale, will correspond to the window that will open for the choices that I will have associated with this. Now you can keep in mind how long it takes it for it to open right now once I press on it and how it looks. And I can now set it to timestamps, for instance, and it's going to be super slow. Now I can also set it to off, and now it will be completely unanimated. It will just appear and disappear instantaneously. And you can do same thing with all the other ones. Now if you want a good balance between them two, I would advise on picking the 0.5. This will basically reduce the animations by half, so they will be twice as fast while still keeping them intact. So I can actually check it on so you can get a view of how this looks. As you can see, everything is way faster in the animation department and far greater than you would get in the reduced animation option that the phone provides, while still having animations but making them super quick so you can access all your apps a bit quicker. Now if you're not a fan of the animations itself, you can all set them to off and just not have any animations, as you can see now. But yeah, so that was the last thing that I want to share. And if you found any of these tweaks and tricks helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.